Recalculating Route, a show about taking a new direction with your life. Here's your host, Christy Atwood.
Welcome. You found Recalculating Route, and we're so glad you did because we have some stuff to share with you today. We are really looking forward to this episode because we've just been sitting here talking, and I think we've talked ourselves out already. But what we're talking about today is being a tourist in your own backyard. And my guests are, Kim, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Broussard. So glad to be here.
Yay. And
Hi, I'm Nathan Bornova. I'm happy to be here.
yay! Okay, we are going to talk about some cool places that we've discovered and hopefully give you some ideas about things you could do as we finally start tiptoeing away from our doorsteps again, as we start getting back out into the world. Okay, I'm nervous. I'm happy. Yes, I'm happy about it, but I'm also nervous about it. It's like, oh my gosh, there's people out there, and I don't do people anymore, so I really have to get back into this thing. But there are so many cool places that you can discover that won't cost an arm and a leg, that give you a chance to find new and exciting things, and even support local people in different areas. So we wanted to share some of that. We're just going to go around and talk about some of our favorite ones. Who wants to start us off?
I'll go first.
I can start us off.
Nathan, go get us started.
Okay, go ahead, Nathan.
I like the Global Wildlife Center in Folsom, and basically it's kind of like a zoo ride, a safari ride. You ride, and they give you a cup to feed the animals, and it takes you through their zebras and all kind of things. Although you can't feed the zebras, I did enjoy like feeding the giraffes and things like that, and it felt like I was in the middle of a zoo. Like it was fun, and it's very affordable. It's like an hour and a half ride, and when I tell you I had a blast, I would definitely go back.
So that you actually feel the giraffe, he eats directly out of your hand.
Yeah, or like you could give them your cup, like if you have a cup. But the thing about the cup is that they get greedy. Like they'll eat all your food.
Okay, that is so cool. Is it like an open thing that you're riding in?
It's like an open bus, like an open top bus.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's very fun.
And that's Folsom is like right outside of Baton Rouge or that area somewhere.
Yeah, I want to say like an hour and a half away.
Okay, so a little further than I thought. Okay,
Yeah,
that's very cool.
It really is a pretty cool place. I visited maybe about 9 years ago. I took my little boy when he was about 3. And so it was 10 years ago. And he was not welcoming of the animals coming close to him. It wasn't about the feeding the animals, but it was nice to look at them and get that close to them.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great experience. I would advise people, especially if you're an animal lover, definitely.
That's a great idea. And let's remember that no matter what area you're in, what state you're in, chances are there's something along that lines near you. And some of the zoos, I know Alexandria Zoo reopens this week. It was hit by hurricanes, and so has been damaged, and they're finally reopening this week. So that was real exciting for us here. So yeah, there's lots of great places where you can observe wildlife and really kind of get back to nature. That's exciting.
Yeah.
I like it. They don't have any animals that can eat each other, I guess. Because then
they say
rebuying animals.
The zebras are aggressive towards the other animals.
Zebras.
Like they tell you not to feed them, and like they kind of shoo them away whenever they get too close to the other animals, which was interesting to me. But they didn't
horses
attack
with
me.
An attitude.
Yeah.
Nathan said they didn't attack me.
I like that. Yeah. Okay, then you're okay then. All right.
Right.
Okay. Aggressive zebras. That'd be a great name for a band. Okay. Kim wanted to go. Kim, tell us yours. What you got?
Well, I'm a big museum nerd. I love museums, and a couple of years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, I visited the World War II Museum in New Orleans. When I tell you guys, it is a beautiful museum. I think it has 3 parts, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's 3 buildings.
Growing.
Yes. Yes. And when I tell you it was phenomenal, like, it tells you, why we fought, how it was won. And it was really informative. It really was. I had a phenomenal time just, reading about it, learning more about World War II. And, we were on a class field trip. So, the kids found it very exciting as well.
I loved that place.
It was fun.
That they friend them on Facebook, and you get to see what events are coming up, because they'll do some really good concerts and stuff with the swing music and the 40s music. I love that kind of stuff.
Really?
So that's pretty cool. They do some great talks and stuff like that. So, and I got to do a shout out to them, because for my dad's 103rd birthday, we took him there and they treated him like a king. They treat everywhere we went, they were applauding him, and he was just having a blast. So they're
That's
good to our
awesome.
veterans.
Yeah.
They're very good. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool. Okay. You know what? That's true though. There's so many museums in this state. Well, in every state, of course, but you forget because there's not only the history ones like that, but then there's the art stuff. There's all those different ones. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Don't call us. They're just calling about my car warranty. I mean, come on, get real. Okay. So, let's think of some more. What else we got here? Okay, I'll bring up one of mine. State parks. I don't care what state you're in. Check out the state parks. We had a chance to check out some of the Louisiana state parks in the past year, and I was blown away. I had no idea they had the kind of stuff they have. We went to Claiborne, which is way up there close to Arkansas. And it was amazing. We had this cabin where the upstairs, there was a little, the bed was upstairs, but looking down over the living room area with the big fireplace and everything. There's a fire pit outside, a thing to barbecue on the deck. It was just amazing what this was like. And I had no idea, and very reasonable. Kim, you went to one too, didn't you?
Sure did. I went to Chico State Park. And let me tell you, camping is not something that my family that we do. Okay, we're not the camping family type, but we had an amazing time. When I tell you, when you get there, it's a beautiful park. You see trees. There's a playground. I think there's even like a little waterfall with for the kids, like a sprinkler for them to go and get wet. You can also fish. I saw a lot of people with their boats out on the water fishing. You can also fish from your cabin. We didn't catch anything, but I know that those that were fishing on the boats, they caught a lot. So I guess they caught all our fish too.
That's what it was.
But there was, hiking trails where you could go and you could hike. There was, what is it called, Christy?
Arboretum?
Arboretum.
I think
I'm assuming. But we went there to that tourist center, and they had a nice little museum inside with pictures of different animals and trees and things that you would see on the tour. And so it was beautiful. We had a blast and it was a 2-bedroom cabin, fireplace, full kitchen. So the only thing is at night it's pitch black. So you're like, do they have an alarm on here? What's that noise? And I know that, we didn't pack enough snacks, and my mom was like, can we wait her? Who's going to come all the way out here? So
y'all are not campers.
We are not campers. We are not campers, but it's nice. It's different for you to venture out. It's great family time, because what we did, instead of watching the TV, we played cards, checkers. We played a lot of board games, had a lot of family time. And while you're camping, and you don't have to be in a tent, okay?
Yes.
That's nice.
That's fantastic. And then if you want to be in a tent, they've got glamping in some areas of the state where they actually have the fancy tents with the nice beds in them and all of that. So there's that too. I think there's one up at Lake Claiborne. I don't know if that's part of the state or close to it, but that's up there too. So there's a lot of stuff to do out in nature. Just take your
Mhm.
mosquito repellent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, Christy.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, definitely.
And you will see, you know, normal animals out there, and I'm saying normal like snakes. So don't be surprised. That was my biggest fears. I didn't want to see any snakes. I'm like, I'm out. I see a snake. You won. This is your territory. I'm just a visitor. I'm gonna leave.
I'm with you, Kim. I cannot stand snakes. I'm
No.
with you.
No, so I was on the lookout. You know, that's why I didn't venture too off on the nature trails, because you would have heard screaming and it wouldn't have been nice.
It's safe to say that we will never see any of us on Naked and Afraid.
Right.
Probably a really good thing, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
But you're right, Christy. The state parks, and I wrote down Claiborne because I definitely now that I've done it, I'm hooked.
Yep.
I would love to see if the other parks are just as beautiful as Chico.
It was a wonderful experience, and it's so stress-free because you get there and you're away from everybody because you got your little cabin, but you know, it feels safe. You know, I really like the feel of that. So definitely one to keep in mind for folks who are looking for something that the whole family can do, still feel safe because you're not face to face with a whole bunch of other people, and be out in nature like that. So good one.
I'll try that.
Yeah. There are some cool, it's not part of the state stuff, but there's some cool cabins up at Toledo Bend too, especially if you're into fishing. Some really nice looking places up there.
Okay.
So I've been to Toledo Bend. So you know what? That wasn't my first camping experience. Actually, it was my second. Thank you for
You're
reminding me. Well, yeah, I didn't even realize that. But that was my first time at Toledo Bend. You get no cell service, none.
No.
None. And I remember, I think you get 2 channels on the TV. I think you get,
It's not a place to watch television or play on your computer.
it's not. It's roughing it. It's roughing it. Okay.
Yes.
It's beautiful. But I remember at about 5 o'clock in the morning, I was like, what is that? What is that? Why is it making noise at 5 in the morning? And after that, I packed up my bags and I went to Natchitoches in a hotel. I was like, I'm out. I'm out. 2 channels, no cell service, and geese and ducks and all kind of noises. No, I'm out.
That doesn't count as camping then, Kim. That was just a rest stop.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, that's not camping.
You're right. That is a rest stop. You're right.
We can't. Nathan, let's just ignore her for a few minutes, okay? Maybe she'll go away. Okay, more places. This is good, y'all. Something, Kim, you mentioned, food.
Yes, food. So I love Festival International de Louisiane. And you guys, if you've never been, it's a must-see. Okay, so it's like a 5-day celebration of music and culture. It happens in April, and it's just phenomenal. You see, all artists from all over the world, and the food. Don't get me started on the food. I love the food. They have a whole bunch of the different vendors out there where you could get everything from crawfish etouffee to, you name it, it's out there. Okay, funnel cakes, everything. And not only do they have the music and the food, but they also have different booths out there where they sell, different it's like little bitty shops, but it's all of different cultures.
Cool. Okay.
Of specific things that they wear for their culture, and you can purchase it. So it's really exciting, and I would advise that you're able to go online at Festival International de Louisiane and online, and you'll get a list of all of the artists that are playing each day. And so it's something that we love here. It's in Lafayette, and something that we love here. We pack up our little chairs. Please bring a chair. There's nowhere for you to sit. So So if you're dancing all night, you want to sit down, or if you're drinking, okay? And so we pull up our chairs, we sit down with a nice plate of food and just listen to the music. People are having a good time. It's amazing. It really is.
That sounds wonderful. I like any kind of festival where there's food on a stick, you know?
Yeah.
That always makes me happy. In fact, Nathan had mentioned another festival that I'd forgotten about.
Well, first, I have to agree with Kim on the Festival International. Like, I love those bread bowls. It's like a bread bowl,
Yes,
crawfish etouffee, and that is my favorite thing. And it's also because I'm from Lafayette as well, so I'll go there and it's like a reunion with all my friends. It's like, hey, I never saw you in years. It's a fun experience, and I can't wait to visit it again. It's fun.
That's cool. I didn't realize you were from there.
Yeah, I'm from Carencro.
Oh yeah.
So the festival I wanted to talk about was the Natchez Balloon Festival. It's kind of the night I went, there was some type of balloon race. I missed that part, but it was so beautiful. It's like hot air balloons everywhere, big balloons just floating, and it was just beautiful to see them in the lights and people like seeing the different types of hot air balloons. To me, there was live music, there's food as well. And my favorite part of the night was that there was a fireworks show. So everybody was waiting, and just it was nice to see like the hot air balloons, because I never saw one like live and up close. And it was a lot of them, and they were just floating, and it was just a beautiful night. And I think it's in October-ish in Natchez, Mississippi. And I highly recommend it because it's beautiful. It's a nice experience.
One to put on your list, folks. I love that. Hot air balloons are so gorgeous. They're just beautiful things. And then to see them at night when they're glowing and all that. Oh, that's just awesome. Yeah. Okay. That's on our list. Okay. Well, that carries us naturally into another festival you had mentioned. The other festival that you had mentioned, Nathan, that I thought was kind of exciting that you were going to talk about.
Well, I wanted to. My other thing was the Gulf State Parks in Alabama.
Oh, okay. That one too. But okay.
That one was nice. I recently went to Alabama, and a lot of people have been saying, go to Orange Beach, go to Orange Beach. And I thought it was going to be like a, rundown beach or something. It was actually beautiful. It was nice and clean. It was like 4 hours away from Baton Rouge, and it was very affordable. But something that I really enjoyed was that there was a park. It's Gulf State Park. And basically you can rent a bike for 3 hours and explore on your own, and it's free. And you can go at your own pace and explore. There's tons of free and affordable things to do. And it was a weekend of relaxation. And I truly enjoyed that one.
That's nice. You had me until bicycle. That means sweating. And I'm not really sure about the whole sweat. But it does sound like a nice thing for people who are so inclined.
Right.
That's so cool sounding, though.
Oh, and I know we talked about the Renaissance Festival. It's a festival that I always wanted to go to, and I haven't yet, but I would love to experience it because I see my friends going with those big old turkey legs, walking around, and I would love to dress up in character. Have y'all ever been?
I've been to one, not the one in Louisiana. I went to the one in Georgia. You went to the one in Louisiana, didn't you, Kim?
I sure did.
Scream here, I'm pointing at her.
I sure did, and one of the best festivals I've ever won. It's actually in my top 3. I had so much fun, and I'm with you, Nathan. So if you go, I would love to dress up. It was an amazing experience.
Am I invited?
Oh, definitely, Christy.
Okay, 3 of us. As soon as I get the Renaissance Festival back on, we're going. Okay,
definitely.
Find an outfit. I like their outfits because they have those ones that have the little things that go across them. You know, the little corsety thing.
Corset.
So I can make myself look skinny. It'll be ugly.
I don't want to put it too tight; it'll mess with my turkey legs. So.
Very true. If I can walk around with a big old turkey leg, I'm a happy person. So that's a good one.
Right.
Excellent.
Another
stuff.
one, you guys, that I didn't mention that's really unique that I went to 2 years ago. Was it 2 or 3 years ago? I don't remember.
No, I wasn't there.
But it's called the Wino Festival, and that's Wineaux. It's held in Youngsville, Louisiana. You guys.
How have I not known this?
It was amazing. You could sample different wines. You have to pay a fee to attend it. And you get like this little, I think it's a little invitation or whatever, and you go there and you can go ahead and sip on wine. There's food for you to go out and purchase. There's different food booths and live entertainment. There's also vendors where you could buy stuff, local items there. But when I tell you, my friends and I got together, and there's also little tents that you can rent, and you could sit down in the little tent. It's like a little private VIP area. And so we were like, hopefully next year when they have it, we'll be able to get in the VIP area, because that was amazing. But I tell y'all, we Ubered. Well, actually, it was my dad, and so we called him the Uber driver. And when he picked us up, he was like, "This is like me picking y'all up from college, like I'm having deja vu," because we were all, "Hey!" But it was so much fun. It's called the Wino Festival.
You had me at Wino. You didn't even have to explain the festival.
Right.
We're there.
I'm gonna check that out.
Oh yeah, that's on my list. I'm making notes. Okay, good.
It was fun. It's held in Youngsville, Louisiana.
I know.
As we're talking about these places, let me remind you, WeirdSouth.com. Okay, WeirdSouth.com. That is Cherie Cohen's site that she has, and she goes to all these unusual, out of the way places, just really strange places that you are amazed to find out. There's places like Trailer Park where you can actually go be like in a trailer park trash type thing where it's decorated really funny and stuff. She's gone to all these kinds of places, and it's really funny. So you might want to check on her site for some interesting places too.
I wrote that down.
Okay, something that a couple of us had talked about, I think, finding those little hole-in-the-wall restaurants that people don't normally know about. The ones that only the locals know about, that you can go in town and say, tell me some place that other people don't know about too much. And find those mom and pop places. And that is so much fun. And you're helping the local economy. Kim, you had one you wanted to try that Nathan has been, what was it?
Yes. I get so excited when I talk about it. I've never been, but it's on my to-do list when everything opens up and I'm more comfortable going out. Everything is open when I go outside. It's called Little Big Cup in Arnoldville, Louisiana. That is on my to-do list. When I tell you that I have heard nothing but good things, their food looks amazing. Their restaurant is on the water, Nathan, or is next to the water?
Yeah, it's kind of on the water, and you could sit like looking out into the water. It's like an outside patio area.
Oh, okay. Nice. Nathan, give us the scoop. How good was it?
Well, I went there for brunch, and when it's a brunch buffet. And when I tell you, I enjoyed all of my food. Like, you know how sometimes buffets are like fast-made food? That food was great. It was seasoned. It was perfect. And I would definitely go back. I want to go back soon. Cool. So maybe we could all three go there too.
I'm ready.
Right.
This is it. This is our new career, y'all. We're on the road every weekend checking out new places. I like this idea.
And did you see the twinkle in my eyes when we talk about food?
Yes. Yeah. And that's the only thing I talked about the festival is food on a stick. I just like food.
Yeah.
Okay, this is fun, y'all. I think this could be something for us to think about doing. Something else that's kind of cool that people often don't think about are like the old buildings in areas. Like for us, I used to do tours. I used to lead tours at the cathedral in Alexandria. And it was so fascinating because it has this great history to it. I mean, the stories are amazing about like the priest who used to be a lieutenant in the army who stood out on the front steps with his rifle to keep the people from burning down the church when most of Alexandria was burned down. He stood out there and protected the church. In fact, a number of the priests they discovered not that long ago are buried underneath the church. So it's all this fascinating stuff. So there are buildings in your area that you might be amazed about. Mount Olivet Church in Pineville, I believe, is one of the oldest remaining ones that's still up in Louisiana. And it has the churchyard with the cemetery around it. It's just fascinating stuff to be able to see. So consider some of the buildings in your areas as possible tourist spots to check out. It's
agree.
exciting.
Oh, something that I did for the first time as well, it was a couple of years ago, is usually when I go on vacation, especially if I go to big cities, I do the double-decker tour bus where they tell you about the history of the city. Was not aware that New Orleans had one. Did you guys know that?
No.
Ooh, I think I've seen
They
those, but
have
I've never been on any of those.
they have a double-decker bus tour. So I took it. Learned some new things about New Orleans. It was really interesting. Now you got to keep in mind that I went when it was a lot cooler, because what you don't want to do is get stuck to the seat in 103-degree weather during the summer.
Right.
You definitely don't want to do it during the summer. But I would advise, now is a great time with spring, or when everything opens up. But spring, our winter time, to go out and take that tour. It was interesting. I wish we all had, our cities all had something like that, but I'm pretty sure with that business, I don't know if a lot of people, especially if you're not a big tourism city, if you would make any money. But I mean, it would be interesting just to know some of the history about, cities like Alexandria, cities like Lafayette, it's like Natchitoches and other places.
That would be fun.
That would.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check that out, Kim.
I didn't know if you guys knew that, but I took a double-decker tour.
That's very cool. I took the cemetery tour down there. See, I have a thing about cemeteries. Yeah, and I sweated. Yes, I did sweat very much in that one. But we got to see the tomb of Marie Laveau, the voodoo woman. Ooh.
Yes. You're a brave woman. I would be like, no, I'll stay on the bus. Y'all come and get me. Y'all come back.
It was a walking tour. That was stupid of me, because I'm also a chubby woman. So that was really but that was interesting. And the plantation homes in Louisiana, there's so many great ones to go see. Yeah. That's all.
They actually have plantation museums. And I can't remember, and I'm sorry I didn't write that down, but there was one plantation museum that we wanted to go visit. It was actually during the pandemic. And I know they were just they were closed during that time. But I can't remember. Maybe it'll come to me a little bit later on. But one place that's very interesting, and I don't know if you guys have ever visited, it's the Tabasco factory in Avery Island.
Never been there.
It's really, it's a factory. They do tours and they show you how Tabasco is made. And when I tell you I'm a Tabasco fan, whatever you do, don't go to the gift shop. I left with, I think, 6 bottles of Tabasco, and they had Tabasco mayonnaise and ketchup, and I left with 2 bottles of that too. And I was like, all right, thank you. It was really a very interesting tour. And I think the kids really, of course, it was on a field trip, and I think the kids really enjoyed it.
The kids apparently get you to go good places, huh?
Yeah.
I need to borrow one of those.
Any field trip my son has for school, if I can, I'm taking off and we're going. Especially if it's a museum. I'm a big nerd, and it's in Louisiana. And I think that sometimes, especially since I've lived here all my life, I take for granted that of all the beautiful historic sceneries and museums and tours that we've had. Like, I've been living here all my life. I'm not gonna say how many years, but it's all my life, and a long time. And I've never done a swamp tour. Any of you have ever done a swamp tour before?
No, I would love to.
Never done a swamp tour. I was like, I bet you that's cool to do a swamp tour, because when people come and visit here, I'll watch, especially on TV, people like, oh, I did the swamp tour in Louisiana, and I'm like, man, I've never done a swamp tour. I bet you it's interesting.
That's a good thought. Okay, see, these are the things that we recommend to other people, and we don't do them ourselves. So, and I bet you in every other state, in every other country, people that are on Facebook are sitting here nodding, going, I keep sending people over to such and such museum, or I tell them about this such and such when they come in town, but I haven't been there in so many years. And I think that's one of those things that we're all guilty of. We are not tourists in our own backyards often enough. And, it's a great opportunity.
Yeah,
And you're, oh, sorry, Nathan.
I was going to say, you can go. You can go.
We get excited. Okay, Nathan first, then Kim.
Yes, go ahead,
you
Nathan.
go first.
Well, speaking of in your backyard, I didn't visit the state capitol until our work location. I didn't visit it until like maybe last January. That was my first time going, and I got to go up to the top floor and see everything. And I would have never thought to visit that. And even the old state capitol, I live around Baton Rouge, like 20 minutes away, and I never thought to visit that and learn the history of Louisiana. And that's very interesting. That made me think about that.
Did that tour as well with the kids.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah. So Nathan and I will live vicariously through your children's tours. This is cool though, and there's so many places like that, and I would just recommend to everybody, if you want to, like, Google things like this. Google museums near me, or hey Siri, give me state parks near me, or tell. Oh no, now Siri's trying to do that. Go away, Siri. I wasn't talking to you. No, go away. Well, she's still saying that. Okay. But search any of those kinds of things. Festivals. I mean, good Lord, there are festivals in our state, and I know there are in every state, that you could literally make a lifetime out of trying to hit all of them. And what a great opportunity, especially if you're like me. I love taking pictures. I'm not good at it, but I love doing it. So festivals are such a wonderful place for that, for practicing your photography and all. There's just
something else, Christy, is that whenever we think about Louisiana, if someone comes to visit, where would we send them? Like, we always just say, oh, you got to go to New Orleans, go down Bourbon. But we never say, go to this World War II museum, go to Avery Island, go to such and such. And so it's great to, kind of explore in your own backyard so that you can bring tourism to whatever city you're in.
I like that.
I like that too.
Okay, so that's our goal. We'll start doing it here in Louisiana. Wherever other people are, they can start doing the same thing. And before we get through, we'll have a huge list of places to go visit in every state. That could work.
I'm going glamping.
I just like the name of glamping. I just think that sounds so cool. And one of our friends went to a treehouse retreat over in Texas, and that looked real cool.
No, that sounds fun.
I mean, it was luxury in a treehouse. That's kind of cool. And there's a couple of spas nearby. Well, there's all over the place, those kinds of things. So you can create your own little retreat, which would be really nice way of starting to get back out into the world, is do your own little short retreat where you start getting comfortable being out somewhere besides your own house, and but not around too many people, and then kind of build from there. So I wouldn't do the festivals the first weekend if you're still kind of like me and going, people.
But the good thing is that the festivals are outside.
Yeah,
they're outside,
yeah.
So you can, make sure you monitor that social distancing. Sit for, grab your plate of food and go sit somewhere further away from people. But
That's good.
Festivals are my thing. I love them, and I can't wait for us to start having more of them.
I agree.
Once it's safe.
I wonder what this 4th of July is going to be like. I wonder if things will be back to kind of something.
I hope so. I'm ready.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell how it's going to work. Yeah.
I'm ready. But it has been neat to see that, because I know last year during the pandemic, I believe, Festival International was online. It was on Zoom.
That's cool.
And I know there's a lot of festivals. I think it was a Festival of Cayenne was also on Zoom, if I'm not mistaken. So they kind of adjusted to the situation, but with everything, it's still not being able to go out and eat, and I had to eat my own cooking while listening to the but luckily they gave you a list of restaurants with the food items that you could purchase, and so that was pretty cool.
That is neat. And by the way, don't forget your local library. I mean, honestly, those are like treasures that you don't even realize the stuff they have. I mean, I was so excited because not too long ago I'd seen the library has the augmented reality, the virtual reality glasses that you can go in and actually do stuff with and all that. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to be trying that. But they have all these programs going on and all these things happening all the time. So looking at your local library calendar can really show you some good stuff. Right now, a lot of it's online, and you can do that too.
That's true.
I forget about the library. I really do, and I shouldn't. It's a great resource.
It's not just books anymore. There's so much going on in there, and I use my online library. My card, it gets used all the time. Right now, I got a couple of books I'm reading on my phone. Things like that. So you just can't beat that.
No, I need to go visit. The last time I visited, I was looking through the card catalog, so that should tell you how old I am.
Well, I tell you, Baton Rouge has got a beautiful new main branch of their library. It's unbelievable. I heard lately that you could even eat on the deck on the roof or something like it. I've got to check that out. I don't know. So that thing just keeps growing and getting more impressive all the time. So a lot of good places. So we highly recommend that you think about being a tourist in your own backyard. Think about some of the things we've talked about today. Check your area and see which ones of those kinds of things are around for you.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to do. Wow, have we given them everything we could think of?
I mean, everything that we can think of, they'd be on here forever. I could go down the list of all the festivals that we have.
That's right. We did go to the Zwolle Tamale Festival, you said, huh?
Oh, yes. And let me tell you, it lives up to its name. If you've never tried a Zwolle tamale, I would advise that you do.
With a name like Zwolle, it's got to be good.
Right.
I'm pretty sure when they're thinking, where is Zwolle? It's over there by Natchitoches.
Okay. So check them out. Check out some of this stuff that we've mentioned and look out because chances are we're going to be on the road too. I'm looking forward to it. Renaissance. Okay. Kim, Nathan, thank you so much for joining me today.
Anytime.
Thank you for having us, Christy.
Y'all are always so much fun. I just love having y'all around. The door's always open. You got the room key. Come on in. All right. Thank y'all so much. And thank y'all. We look forward to seeing you next week on Recalculating Route. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Recalculating Route. Join us next Wednesday evening at 6 Central